Welcome to HavenShine Reviews, episode 12. New episode in a few weeks, so should be pretty exciting. We have Suicide Squad, Val, and Black Widow. So those have been, the things that I've been watching. A whole bunch of new TV series, but that's what we're going to cover tonight. And no better than to start with Suicide Squad. Okay, so there may be a lot of people that hate me. So send those comments and messages. You can either do it right now live, and I'll post. I get all that hate mail. Not a fan of this movie. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's a big letdown. So let's start off with the acting. So I normally put it actor believability, which are the stars in the movie. But this movie, there's a lot of stars. And put the supporting cast as a separate category. So I figured I would mash it up, and in the actors believability, I put Idris Elba, Viola Davis, Margot Robbie, and of course, I can't even think of his name right now. Michael Rooker. So I put those in that actor's believability because I thought they did a fantastic job. And frankly, if you have Michael Rooker in the movie, why are you killing him in the first 5 minutes? Spoiler alert, by the way. Not what I wanted to see, because he was fabulous. And then, spoiler, you bump him off like he wasn't even really part of the movie. And I thought that was really injustice to the fans that really wanted him to be part of this. And then the rest of the cast I put as the supporting cast, even though some of them were the stars. So the actor believability, that main category, I gave a 9 for those actors that I just mentioned, which I thought they were great. They were great. And there were some other smaller roles that were really good as well, but as a whole, the rest of the cast was a 4.5. First of all, John Cena was terrible. Like, he was horrible. I'm sorry, he was horrible. So with the rest of the cast, I wasn't really happy with, and I'm not even sure it was because of the actors themselves. The storyline, I gave a 3. I'm appalled that they come out with Suicide Squad, and the best they can come up with is a giant starfish. Really. So disappointing. I'm so disgusted at the producers and the writers of this movie. The screenwriting, I gave a 6. So it wasn't much better than the actual storyline. But really, a starfish? I felt like I was watching Ghostbusters with the giant marshmallow man. The only problem is the marshmallow man was in a comedy. This is not a comedy. This is a superhero movie that you just destroyed. It was hideous, and it was injustice to the whole series. And I don't look. I'm not saying that the action wasn't good, because if you go to entertainment factor, I gave it a 9. There was a lot of good action in this movie, but the whole plot sucked. It sucked. And it basically ruined the movie. And that's writing. That's all on the writers and some acting. But the entertainment factor was a 9, and which led to the watchability. Like, can you watch this again? Hell no. I would not watch this again. So I gave it a 5, because I'm sure there's going to be some people that will watch it again. So those are the categories that I basically wanted to discuss with this movie. This is a big letdown. Um, and Eric, they made it more of a comedy. Yeah, and why do they? It's like it should be a great movie. This is hardcore criminals. Like, basically, make this movie rated R. Like, these are supposed to be some ruthless people. I guess Eric too. So out of my system, it's 10 points for each category, 0 to 10. And when it all got added up, it came to a whopping 7.0. And it's because of those main actors and the entertaining part of it. Like, that was great. The production was actually pretty good. It's just the story. The story was terrible. Like, I don't know why you would want to watch this movie a second time. And I won't be. I won't be. And frankly, the first one was better. Sorry. Those of you that did not like the first one, it was still better than this. So that is Suicide Squad. It was below average. The plot was poor. The whole storyline was poor. But at least there's action. And Eric did not watch this again. I watched it the first time, to be honest with you, but I've seen worse movies. I have seen worse. So Suicide Squad 67.0. Not good. Not good at all. So let's move on to Val, which I know this was being made. And it is a documentary about Val Kilmer. And he's a pretty good actor. But when I started watching this, I was like, oh, why are they making a documentary on Val Kilmer? And wait a minute, I'm gonna watch this because he's in my favorite Western, Tombstone, Doc Holliday. So I started watching it, and it broke my heart. If you like documentaries, this is one that you have to see, because basically he made the documentary himself with help from his son, and I'm sure there's some other people involved and everything, but he basically kept footage since he was a little kid, videotaping everything. And he used all that footage that he's had through his whole life, and he made a documentary out of it. And I don't think that was his plan from the beginning, But when you see what his life is right now, it will absolutely crush you if you like him as an actor, and you will be stunned if you didn't even know who he was. So it was that, that powerful of a documentary, and uh, just just remembering some of the parts, and I'm not going to give anything away. Uh, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. So some of the categories that I'm going to go over. Now, normally have like the actor's believability, but that is basically turned into the story. So, is the story believable? And in that aspect, I gave it a 9.5 because, I mean, he has the video, of course, over everything that's happened in his life. And that goes back to like with Tom Cruise in Top Gun, everything. They have video of a lot of actors from the movies he's been in. So that was a 9.5. And the screenwriting I kind of replaced as um like the film footage, because most of it is the story of what he's filming. So in that aspect, I gave it a 9.5 because film footage is like some of the stuff he has on film is pretty is pretty awesome. Um, so the the long part of it is it's hard. It's hard to describe. He has to use a voice box to speak, and it's nearly impossible to understand what he's saying. Um, you have to see it. Like everything about this, the production 7.5 because it's pretty raw, and so film footage isn't, you know, great, but when they put it together and made this story of Val Kilmer, it was pretty awesome. Um, at the same time, you take that footage and with the background using that footage, you see him growing up from a little boy to to the actor that he is, and then to what he has become. And I'm choking to death because the movie's got me. But yeah, it is a fantastic documentary. You got to see it. Um, with the ratings, after you add everything, comes out to a 90.5. Absolutely loved it, and I feel like I might have missed something, and I definitely want to see it again because of the fact how hard it is to understand when he's talking now. So you have to really pay attention, and if you go and see some of Val Kilmer's movies, like if you see Top Gun, if you see Tombstone, if you see, a bunch of other movies that he's made, Batman, he was Batman. Don't forget that. He was Batman. And I will give one thing away. He had the opportunity to be Batman a second movie, but he turned it down. He turned it down. He did not want to be Batman because in that movie they told him exactly everything that you have to do. You can't make it your own. So he turned down Batman to be in the third one. So just thinking about it, it just got me. It just has me. So okay, so let's take care of some business now. We are on Rhode Island Broadcasting, so please drop your comments, share, do all that stuff, because that's how the show becomes successful. Is you, the fans, sharing it and commenting. That's how we get noticed. You can find HavenShine reviews, all the movies we review on HavenShine. Go on, they'll all be on there tomorrow. See what movies we've rated. If you want us to do a movie, let us know. Drop a comment, let us know, and we will get that for you. Every once in a while we do some shows on Twitch as RI_broadcasting, and you can find us on Twitch. Please, again, drop a follow, drop a sub, and let us keep giving you the stuff that you ask for. You can also find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, you can go to YouTube. Drop a subscribe. Very important. It's very, very important. If you're on YouTube and you're on this, we are also on Facebook, so give us a like. And click that bell on there. So, that is Val and Suicide Squad. So you got one really highly rated and one not so much. And you would think it would have been the other way around. Widow land in all of this. Well, I gotta tell you, it was good. The categories I'd like to talk about are first the actors. She was good. Scarlett Johansson did a job, but I still felt there could have been more from her. So I gave it an 8.5, and that is the supporting cast I 8. My biggest problem with this was the sound, and I put this in with the music and sound. It seemed like some parts were higher and then low and then high, and it seemed like it was all over the place. And I kept having to adjust the volume on the TV, and it shouldn't really be like that. You can clearly tell there was a difference between when they were pre-recording, maybe before COVID, and then they did some of the movie during COVID, and it didn't sound the same. So you can tell there's different parts, and that wasn't cool. So I gave the music and sound a 5. That was the biggest on this movie. Most of the stuff ranged from 7.5 to 9. The screenwriting was a 7.5. That was a little on the lower end. I thought they were a little all over the place, but again, the entertainment of 9.5. There was some great fight scenes. Very action packed throughout. So you're not gonna get gypped there. Like that part of the movie really paid dividends. The ending ended pretty decent with it, and so I gave it an 8.0, and the watchability 8.0. I could watch this again, and I probably will. But overall, 79.5 still was not what you expect from Marvel. I can understand the DC part because they screw everything up, but Marvel really doesn't mess up. Like that, the story part of it throughout the movie kind of all over the place at times. Uh, that could get you lost. Like I'm not sure I like the fact that she was already part of the Avengers during this part of like most of the movie, but they never really went and talked about that, and went into how she got there or anything like that, which confused me because that's what you wanted maybe to end the movie. At least that's how I felt. It's like I want this movie to show how she became an Avenger, and it really didn't do that. It didn't cover any of that, and that I felt was a little disappointing. And that's why it's a C plus rather than a B minus or a B. I think if they would have tied in, with the Avengers, I think it would have been better because like they really just glossed over it and it wasn't really anything. So those are the 3 reviews, and if you disagree, comment. If you agree, comment. We want to know what you thought about the movies, so please post it in the comments. So, side note, before I choke to death, yeah, TV, Raising Dion, just started watching it. Check it out. It's very good. Also, brand new cherry flavor. Excellent. It's a little weird, but it is excellent. So you wanna check out those 2 series and let us know what you think we should watch. Oh, sorry about that, people. But that is to conclude the show this week. And we will see you, Lucky 13. And maybe we'll do some horror on the 13th episode. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.